Hello, my name is Ruben Archilla, Group Manager in Product Development with Mazda North American Operations. And what I'm here to talk about is the all-new 2007 MazdaSpeed3. And specifically, we're going to talk about what parts or components are different compared to the standard Mazda 3. We're going to start with the chassis. The differences are quite easy to explain. Coil springs are stiffer front and rear, about 43% stiffer in the front, 30% stiffer in the rear. The stabilizer bars are larger front and rear by 5 millimeters in diameter. And of course the larger 215/45 series 18-inch tires, which are the same tires that you'll find on the MazdaSpeed3. Overall, these changes to the spring and stabilizer bar have increased the roll stiffness compared to the base car by a little over 60%. Damping has been stiffened front and rear, and also new for 2007 we have monotube dampers. Moving to the engine. The engine is an all-new power plant for us that's used in the CX-7 SUV and in the MazdaSpeed3 as well. And the engine has been applied to the MazdaSpeed3 with very few modifications from the Mazda6. The biggest feature of this engine is direct injection, which gives us a couple of major advantages. One is that we inject the fuel directly into the combustion chamber, closest to where it's going to be ignited. Also, the fuel is injected at remarkably high pressure, 115 times atmospheric pressure. This rapid pressure reduction from fuel line pressure to the pressure inside the combustion chamber causes the fuel to cool rapidly when it's injected. That does a couple things for us, but the most important is it gives us more torque and horsepower. It gives us faster turbo response and quicker catalyst heat up, which contributes to reduced emissions. I'm also going to show you the transmission and transaxle layout, which is unique in its compactness. We have a relatively unique 3-shaft transmission with 6 speeds. The way the 3-shaft transmission works is there are 2 output shafts, one for gears 1 through 4, the second for gears 5, 6, and reverse. That allows us to package a 6-speed transmission in a case that's much shorter than if we were using a conventional 2-shaft transmission. Also, one more thing. Also, the limited slip differential is a unique piece. It's made by GKN Driveline. It's called a Super LSD. It's a conical type limited slip differential. It's actually the same mechanism that we use in the rear of the RX-8 and the MX-5. Moving to the body, we've got some significant changes to the structure compared to the standard Mazda 3. And all of these were intended to cope with the additional cornering power that was generated from the changes to the suspension system. In the rear, we can see 2 red pieces. They're fairly large, bolted-in gussets that connect the floor to the wheelhouse, which stiffens the suspension mounting points in the rear, giving us better camber rigidity under high cornering loads. Underneath the car, we have 2 pieces that have been changed. The number 1 cross member is the piece at the front of the tunnel, which is thicker than it is on the standard Mazda 3. And directly under the bottom of the car, there is a large single-piece plate that replaces 2 smaller cross members that are used on the standard Mazda 3. Both of these resist torsional deformation of the tunnel under cornering loads. In the front suspension, we have 3 pieces that were added for the MazdaSpeed3. We have a welded-in gusset on the outside of the strut tower. We have larger plates reinforcing the strut tower top that connects to the cowl. And we also have another piece behind the cowl that connects the left and the right side of the car. All of these pieces, again, were intended to increase the local rigidity around the suspension mounting points to give us better camber stiffness under high cornering loads. The sum total weight added of all these parts is roughly 15 pounds compared to the standard Mazda 3, but the largest single piece is the plate that is in the center of the transmission tunnel, so it's centrally located in the body. Finally, let's look at a car in total. We have here the finished product, the MazdaSpeed3. The car is available in 2 trim levels: the MazdaSpeed3 Sport, which starts at $22,240, and the MazdaSpeed3 GT, which primarily adds leather bolstered seats, Bose audio, LED taillights, and this goes for $23,955. So the main point that I want to make here is tremendous horsepower and handling at a price point that's really competitive.
What are the different features that you actually can see when one is driving between the Mazda 3 and the MazdaSpeed3?
Probably the most significant things that you'll notice immediately are the 18-inch wheels, 1 inch larger compared to the standard Mazda 3. The ride height is 10 millimeters lower, which gives it a more aggressive stance. Front fascia is different. The headlight treatment is different. And on the rear of the car, the rear spoiler is a unique design for the MazdaSpeed3, and that's actually very effective to contribute to a very low coefficient of lift in the rear of the car.
Ruben, thank you very much for the product runaround.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure.